Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always following and supporting the channel. Who do you think wins when Dr. Manhattan vests the antimatter, the battle between the quantum god and the destroyer of the multiverse? There are entities that go far beyond any definition of power we have ever known. They are no longer bound by space, time, or even the concept of death. They exist on a plane where gods themselves are just nameless specks of dust. And today, we will put on the scale two of the most terrifying entities. On one side is the man who has crossed the boundaries of creation, the one who sees the past, present, and future as a single panoramic picture, the one who personally reconstructed the fabric of the entire DC Multiverse, Dr. Manhattan. On the other side is the Destroyer, born from pure antimatter, the entity that has devoured countless universes and pushed the entire multiverse to the brink of extinction in the event Crisis on Infinite Earths, the antimatter. Dr. Manhattan, whose real name is Jonathan John Osterman, was born on the 14th of August 1929 in Germany. His father was Joseph Osterman, a talented watchmaker dedicated to his craft. From a young age, John was groomed to continue the family tradition. On his 9th birthday, his father gifted him a wristwatch with an extremely intricate construction. Joseph wanted his son to understand that time is not just an intangible concept, but contains power, laws, and a tremendous influence on human life. In 1939, as the political situation in Germany became increasingly tense under the control of the fascist regime, John's family decided to secretly leave their homeland because his mother had Jewish ancestry. During the dangerous escape journey, John was hidden inside a cargo crate to avoid detection by German soldiers. However, the vehicle carrying his family was stopped before it could cross the border. These childhood events left a deep impression on John's perception of the fragility of life and the harsh changes of the era. By 1945, when America dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima, John was living with his father in Brooklyn and had just turned 16. One summer morning, while learning how to assemble a pocket watch in the family kitchen, John listened to his father reflect on the changing world. Joseph Osterman compared the theory of relativity to the extraordinary advances of modern military science and realized that the traditional craft of watchmaking was gradually becoming obsolete in the face of scientific progress. Instead of continuing to pursue the family's traditional handicraft, John Osterman chose the path of scientific research. From 1948 to 1958, he studied at Princeton University, where he had the opportunity to be exposed to a top-tier academic environment and advanced scientific thought. It was here that John's passion for exploring the nature of matter and the universe grew strongly. With excellent intellect and astonishing perseverance, John completed his program and received a doctorate in atomic physics in 1959. After graduating, John moved to work at the Gila Flats Research Facility, an advanced scientific center specializing in the study of the state of objects after being disintegrated at the atomic level. This environment brought him closer to discoveries beyond the ordinary limits of human understanding. It was this place that set off a chain of events that completely changed John Osterman's life, transforming him from a brilliant scientist into an entity possessing extraordinary power. Dr. Manhattan possesses a body that is virtually indestructible. Physical attacks can hardly harm him because John Osterman's structure of existence has transcended the scope of a normal human being. After the life-altering accident at Gila Flats, John is no longer bound by the basic necessities of life, such as eating, breathing, or resting. He exists as a transcendent energy entity, operating independently of the biological laws that govern humanity. Dr. Manhattan's most astonishing ability lies in the power to manipulate matter at the atomic level, and even smaller than that. He can dismantle, restructure, or rearrange objects at will without destroying their original essence. With this control, John can create colossal changes in just a brief moment. The limitations of distance or space are also completely meaningless before his abilities. Dr. Manhattan can teleport instantly from one location to another in the blink of an eye, regardless of how far the distance is. Dan Dreiberg once called this phenomenon the Manhattan transfer. Not only does he control matter, Dr. Manhattan also possesses a non-linear perception of time. He does not experience the timeline the way humans perceive it. The past, present, and future coexist simultaneously in his awareness. John can see events that have happened, are happening, and even future possibilities that have not yet fully formed. He can even perceive fluctuations so minute that they seemingly never existed. Although possessing the power to change the entire world in a split second, Dr. Manhattan often does not intervene in the flow of events directly. Seeing all of time at once makes him understand that every action is a part of the pre-existing fabric of reality. In both Watchmen and Doomsday Clock, Dr. Manhattan has repeatedly demonstrated his overwhelming status. He displayed abilities far beyond ordinary superheroes and became one of the most terrifying entities ever to exist in the DC Comics multiverse. In Doomsday Clock issue 9, Manhattan easily overpowered most of the Justice League members, showing the colossal power gap between him and the most powerful icons of Earth. Dr. Manhattan is an entity possessing power far beyond the superheroes in the DC universe. The scale of John Osterman's power is so great that he can directly influence the fundamental structure of reality. For him, studying, creating, or destroying timelines and layers of the multiverse is not impossible. His power operates at the highest level. John's ability to manipulate existence surpasses the scope of ordinary matter and reaches a level of controlling the operating principles of the universe. The scope of Dr. Manhattan's influence is his silent intervention in the flow of reality's destiny. John once chose to place his faith in a version of Superman different from the others, with the expectation that this symbol could understand humanity more deeply. The concept of complete annihilation is also almost ineffective against John Osterman. He has demonstrated the ability to resist being erased from existence and overcome paradoxes once considered inviolable. Dr. Manhattan once split his own quantum reality into countless different branches. Each version represents a separate choice, a different outcome formed from the decisions he could have made. This turns John into an entity that exists simultaneously on multiple planes of reality. The power of Dr. Manhattan is so immense that even Mr. MZZ-K, the powerful entity from the fifth dimension, shows wariness towards him. In direct confrontations, Dr. Manhattan has simultaneously withstood attacks from many powerful heroes such as Shazam, Stargirl, the Green Lanterns, Supergirl, and Captain Atom. Even though his physical body can be affected in certain situations, John is still fully capable of reconstructing himself at the atomic level and returning to a complete state. This makes defeating him virtually impossible. John's enormous energy source, when combined with the Mobius chair, gave Wally West enough power to influence the structure of existence and repair the fluctuations of the universe. Dr. Manhattan himself is also the factor that created the multiverse scale changes, implementing alterations that affect the entire timeline and reshape reality on an unprecedented scale. John easily overcame a series of the strongest superheroes on Earth, simultaneously displaying overwhelming power against immortal and symbolic entities such as Pandora or Metron. These feats help solidify Dr. Manhattan's position as one of the most powerful entities ever to appear in DC Comics. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot, and you are the most wonderful person. Thank you very much. Now let us talk about the Anti-Monitor. If Dr. Manhattan is a god created from science, then the Anti-Monitor is a god born from destruction itself. About 10 billion years ago, at a time so distant that it is beyond the comprehension of most life, the primitive structure of the multiverse began to take shape. At that moment, everything did not yet exist in the form of countless parallel realities as it does now. Only a single universe existed, one original, unified, and complete world where all life on that primeval universe existed the planet Maltus, a world representing development, knowledge, light, and the aspiration for perfection. This was the home of the Owens, a race that would later be known by the title Guardians of the Universe. They are blue-skinned beings who are nearly immortal, possessing transcendent intelligence and the ambition to guide existence toward a state of absolute perfection. ceaselessly studying and exploring the foundational secrets of the universe. Among them was Krona, an ambitious scientist who was also obsessed with the origin of existence. He wanted to witness with his own eyes the first moment when reality was born. However, it was this curiosity beyond all limits that led to a catastrophe which changed the entire structure of the universe forever. While conducting an experiment to observe the moment of the birth of existence, an unexpected incident occurred. A mysterious stream of energy passed through Krona's research device, destroying the entire operating system and nearly taking his life. That accident did not destroy the entire universe as many legends have passed down, but the consequence it created was far more terrible. The single primeval reality was torn apart into two opposing halves. One side is the familiar matter universe where life develops according to normal laws. The other side is the antimatter universe, an opposing realm of existence operating on completely different principles, but that division was not yet the end. Countless new universes began to appear. Different timelines were continuously formed, expanding and multiplying without end. It was from that moment that the multiverse officially came into existence. In the antimatter universe existed the planet Quard, the reflective counterpart corresponding to Oa of the matter world. But this place did not produce hope or light. From the primordial void called the Overvoid, a dark entity began to form on the moon of Quard. That creature was precisely the Anti-Monitor. On the other side of reality, to maintain the balance for the newly formed multiverse, the Monitor was born on the moon of the planet Oa. The two entities became two opposing faces of existence, representing the forces of balance and opposition within the structure of the multiverse. Over time, the Anti-Monitor grew increasingly in power beyond all control. He quickly dominated Quard with absolute strength. Not stopping there, he built the Thunderer's Army, a brutal warrior force created to serve his ambition of conquering the entire antimatter universe. But his ambition reached far beyond that. From the most dangerous individuals among the Thunderers, the Anti-Monitor continued to transform them into shadow demons. These were entities many times more terrifying. They operated in darkness, were nearly immortal, and carried a deadly destructive power. Just a single touch was enough to bring about a catastrophic end. With a colossal shadow army behind him, the Anti-Monitor began to expand his dominion across the entire antimatter universe. One by one, planets collapsed. One by one, civilizations vanished into the darkness. There were no more opponents strong enough to stop him. There were no more territories left unconquered. In many power rankings of villainous entities, he is often mentioned as a name standing at the top tier. This is not simply an ordinary world conqueror, but an entity born to threaten the entire structure of existence of the multiverse. His presence always means destruction, collapse, and extinction on a scale far beyond superhero battles. When existing inside the antimatter universe, the Anti-Monitor reaches a state of nearly absolute power. In that place, he possesses enough might to confront the Monitor directly, the opposing entity representing the balance of the multiverse. However, the most terrifying state of the Anti-Monitor appears when he absorbs energy from countless matter universes and continues to charge himself with multiversal power across space and time. Even true Darkseid, one of the greatest icons of destruction in DC, becomes wary before this overwhelming might. Entities of cosmic stature, such as the Spectre, also find it difficult to create any significant impact when facing him. The durability of the Anti-Monitor is also at an extraordinary level. He once survived the explosion of Warworld, an event with destructive scale sufficient to wipe out an entire galaxy. Not only that, he also withstood a full-scale assault from the entire forces of the Lantern Corps. Even facing a colossal collective power, the Anti-Monitor still stood firm. The feud between him and Darkseid also became an important part of the history of DC cosmic conflicts. Because of the damages he once suffered, the Anti-Monitor nurtured a determination for revenge and once sought to seize the anti-life equation to serve his ambition of absolute domination. The confrontation between him and Darkseid once reached such a massive scale that the Justice League was almost unable to intervene. The Anti-Monitor also once controlled the Black Racer as a tool to serve his own goals. He also faced Lex Luthor directly at the time Lex became the ruler of Apocalypse after replacing Darkseid. These battles show that the Anti-Monitor not only possesses overwhelming power, but is also a dangerous strategist. One of his most fearsome achievements is holding his opposing brother at bay for 1,000,000 years. Where the positive multiverse was once described as infinite, this makes the scale of the Anti-Monitor's power even more terrifying. The most frightening thing lies in the fact that he does not need to constantly absorb more matter universes to maintain his position. Even in his normal state, the Anti-Monitor still possesses power far beyond most entities existing in DC Comics. He has resisted many forms of soul manipulation and mind possession, including the influence of Deadman. The Anti-Monitor became the ultimate symbol of multiversal destruction, a force that even the most powerful gods must be wary of when confronting. This is the battle between absolute creation and absolute destruction. Dr. Manhattan recreates reality. The Anti-Monitor erases reality. Dr. Manhattan sees the future. He will know exactly when and how the Anti-Monitor attacks. But knowing a tsunami is coming does not mean you can stop it. Dr. Manhattan can reconstruct his body from any physical damage because he controls every particle that constitutes him. But the Anti-Monitor does not injure him. He erases his material foundation. When antimatter contacts matter, they do not destroy each other. They annihilate each other, converting into pure energy. If the Anti-Monitor engulfs Manhattan in a wave of antimatter, there will be no particles left for him to reconstruct. His consciousness, however powerful, still needs a physical foundation to anchor itself. Without matter, there is no Dr. Manhattan. Manhattan has proven he can alter the timeline of the entire DC Multiverse. In theory, he could travel back in time and prevent Krona from conducting the experiment that created the Anti-Monitor. But here is Manhattan's weakness. He sees the future as a fixed picture. He believes that everything is predetermined. The Anti-Monitor is not bound by fate. He is the embodiment of the end of all fates. Furthermore, the Anti-Monitor exists outside the normal timeline. He has survived the collapse and recreation of the entire multiverse. Altering the past may not affect him the way it affects linear temporal beings. And when the Anti-Monitor activates the antimatter cannon aimed directly at Dr. Manhattan, Manhattan will see it coming. He will analyze it, understand its nature. He will try to rearrange the antimatter, turning it into something harmless. But antimatter is not a form of matter that can be rearranged. It is the negation of the very concept of matter. It is like trying to use light to create darkness. In that moment, Manhattan will face the only thing he cannot calculate, his own absolute end. He will understand that he is being erased, not because he is weaker, but because he is made of the very thing the Anti-Monitor was born to destroy. This is not an easy conclusion, but when analyzing the fundamental nature of both entities, one result becomes clear. Dr. Manhattan is a god of creation and knowledge. He is so powerful that he can reshape reality at will. But his power has limits within the scope of matter and positive energy. He is the master of everything that exists. The Anti-Monitor is the master of non-existence. And in the battle between existence and non-existence, non-existence always has the ultimate advantage, because it does not need to follow any of the laws of existence. The Anti-Monitor wins, not because he is smarter, not because he is faster, but because he is the embodiment of the very thing opposite to everything that makes up Dr. Manhattan. The Anti-Monitor's wave of antimatter will sweep through, and in the final moment, Dr. Manhattan will see his own future. An empty future, without any atoms to reconstruct, without any timeline to anchor to. He will face the truth that even a god can be forgotten when the very foundation of reality is erased. Dr. Manhattan can recreate a universe, but the Anti-Monitor has destroyed thousands of universes. In the battle of numbers, destruction is always faster than creation. When the cosmic dust settles, only one entity remains standing amidst the blank nothingness, the anti-monitor, the destroyer of all worlds, who has now devoured even the blue god. And that is our result. But we know this is one of the most controversial battles. Dr. Manhattan is a nearly omnipotent character within his scope. Could his ability to see the future allow him to find a solution that we have not thought of? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with this outcome, or do you think Dr. Manhattan has some hidden trump card that we missed? Do not forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to follow the next epic battles between the strongest entities in every universe. Thank you for watching.